working hard for you. WHSV Daybreak begins now with breaking news.
Well, good morning. Today's Wednesday, August 27th. I'm Kayla Brown. Thank you for starting your morning with us. And we begin this morning with breaking news on I-81. Here's a view of mile marker 245 northbound in Harrisonburg. One northbound lane is closed due to a crash involving 3 tractor trailers and a passenger vehicle. Virginia State Police telling us there is at least 1 reported injury. The crash happened around 1 a.m. near mile marker 244. Detours are now in place around mile marker 242, but that northbound lane, 1 lane, is now open. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. We'll turn it now to the weather with Cody Barnhart in the good old First Alert Center. Now, Cody, another pretty solid, easy day.
Yeah, it's, this whole week is not bad out there at all. It's really very, very nice. Great for anything outside, but it is chilly this morning. And in the last couple of mornings, they've been certainly much cooler overall. Let's go ahead and take a look here at downtown Harrisonburg on your UVA Community Credit Union Skycam. Temperatures here, as I mentioned, nice and chilly. Look at this, crispy into the 50s for many of us. We've got 40s right now. Harrisonburg and Waynesboro, but 46 as well here in Petersburg. So many areas are already now below 50 degrees. We are dry out there, so no threat of rain, at least for this morning. We are good to go for today. Temperatures as well compared to yesterday, well, they're like good 2 to say 4 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. And of course, we've had a couple of clouds overnight. Those, for the most part, have cleared out of the area. So First Alert satellite and radar, pretty quiet here up and down parts of I-81 off to the north as well. There's your cloud cover, though, down say I-64 over the Blue Ridge and Skyline Drive. But other than that, we are dry this morning. We'll have a few clouds out there, but after that, plenty of sunshine. We're going to go from the 50s here into the 60s as we go through the morning. So a very chilly start, back into the 70s this afternoon, and we've got more days that look like that on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
Well, tracking crime now, the Augusta County Sheriff's Office says it's arrested a Charlottesville man after investigating a string of vehicle break-ins in a Fishersville area subdivision. Alongside the Stanton Police Department, 21-year-old Deron Ashton Harris with felony credit card larceny, 5 counts of petty larceny, and 8 counts of entering or setting in motion a vehicle with the intent to commit a crime, malicious mischief, or injury thereto. Harris is currently being held at Middle River Regional Jail without bond. The investigation is still active, and anyone with information or home surveillance footage from the Tiverton area is asked to contact the Sheriff's Office. Well, in the Mountain State, the Trump administration is ordering West Virginia, alongside 45 other states, to remove gender ideology content from sex education materials within 60 days. If not, the state could lose over $500,000 in funding for the Personal Responsibility Education Program. Officials say this action reflects the Trump administration's ongoing commitment to, quote, protect children from attempts to indoctrinate them. And Governor Patrick Morrisey has announced that BDO USA, an independent company, will conduct performance audits of 3 state agencies. That includes the Department of Human Services, Homeland Security, and Transportation. Morrisey says the audits will assess operations, programs, and activities to assure the agencies are aligned with federal state laws and to find opportunities for better efficiency, a task also aligned with the Trump administration. Well, back around the valley, the annual pig scramble tradition at the Shenandoah County Fair is a highlight for many fairgoers, but animal rights activists are continuing to voice their concerns to stop the scramble. Our Ryan Hartnett heard from fairgoers and protesters regarding the long-standing tradition.
As fairgoers flock to the Shenandoah County Fair, they may have passed by protesters at the intersection of Reservoir and Ox Road in Woodstock. Those protesters, Tina and Anna Ciccarello, have been on the sidewalk to protest the pig scramble tradition since 7 a.m.
These children are rewarded by a live animal that they have treated in a really inhumane way.
The two have received a mixed response from cars passing by, both positive and negative. The two have been protesting the pig scramble and voicing their concerns since last year's fair, creating a petition that has received almost 3,000 total signatures. Though fairgoers at the livestock section disagree with the calls to stop the scramble, including John Wetzel of Edinburgh.
If you would go to attend the event and actually see the enjoyment that the kids take, the people in the crowd, the smiles on the faces, I mean, it is really, it's just wild to me that people are that concerned about it.
But Anna, who is one of the protesters, actually attended the event last year and recalls it being hard to watch as the pigs were being dragged across the pen.
It just seemed like it was really no holds barred, and I did notice that the pictures they used to advertise this event are very different than what I saw.
While there is no indication that the fair plans to stop the scramble set for Wednesday night, the Ciccarellos hope that these little piggies are able to still be showcased at the fair without being chased around. Working hard for you, Ryan Hartnett, WHSV.
Now to Luray, where preparations are underway for the annual Page County Sunflower Festival. The festival is scheduled for this Saturday at Ralph Dean Recreation Park. The 6th edition of the annual event features food, games, and an opportunity for attendees to experience the sunflower field at the park. That's all with the help of the Page Alliance for Community Action, better known as PACA.
There's a lot of different ways, a lot of opportunities for us to talk to people and to get some donations, but then the festival itself is really very low cost. It's $5 a carload to get into the event, and that really just helps the town of Luray offset some of the costs because they put a lot of money in labor and activities.
Again, that's set for Saturday, August 30th, and will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, new on Daybreak, researchers at James Madison University and Case Western Reserve University have coined a new term called the Rumpelstiltskin effect. Essentially, when we go to the doctor's office, we want to get some sort of diagnosis or treatment to know we have support. Before now, the psychological effect was widely known about but never studied, and two JMU professors hope this helps push for change and reform.
Things we're really hoping is going to happen with this paper is it's going to point in all kinds of directions, just like placebo research, that are really important, that have been, I think, neglected despite this clinical awareness of how particular names can have effects on patients.
In the paper, they argue that humans have an instinct desire to be categorized because we want to feel supported and understood.
Unlike the natural world, where if we classify a biological species or if we classify minerals or physical elements, their behavior doesn't change. But in humans, if you give them a label, if you give them a category, they're not aware of being categorized, and that has kind of downstream effects on that behavior.
Both of them agreed that this research comes at an important time because of a, quote, rise in self-diagnosis by people in the community.
Now your first alert traffic update, sponsored by Rockingham Insurance. Wherever you are, we're here.
And before we head into break, turning back to that accident we mentioned earlier, here's a view of mile marker 242 southbound in southbound in Harrisonburg. Now here you can see some drivers continuing to detour on the northbound exit. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the morning as this situation changes.
Well, coming up, more on the President Trump's sweeping new tariffs that are costing consumers more. The latest economic data arrived hours after Trump moved to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. How that could affect your pockets and more when Daybreak continues with what's new this morning.